Hi, creative friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So this is a continuation of my video where I applied tea bags onto my page. Now with this particular spread, I'm using Bristol paper. I put tea bags and then I also layered other pieces of collage over top of it. And then I allowed it to completely dry. Now I'm really glad that this situation transpired because I did not like the colors that I chose. And now that it's completely dry and I came back to it, I'm still not really digging it. So I'm just going to move this off to the side here and I'm going to show you what I did. So this is an assemblage, and I made another video a while back and it was about how we can use assemblage to strengthen our color muscles. I am going to put a link in the description below. So I won't go into too much detail about what that entails because that video does explain it. But this is a great tool that we can use when we're uncertain. So I'm just going to show you like how I work. So, okay, I put these colors down, and what I did is I went with the Prussian blue and the orange, and I added a little bit of pink. There's hot pink, and then there's a lighter pink, and I put some lime green and some cashew. So that's pretty much the colors that are on the substrate. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna go with the blue and orange combo because I really love that, but I'm not really feeling it. So a great way when I'm not happy with my colors is I can lay out my colors like so. And the reason why working in this way when it comes to colors and patterns, etc., is so amazing is because you can just move pieces around. And now I am really loving this color palette a lot more. Now it's not going to be exact. So like this is a black and white flowery pattern. So I'm not going to have that exact pattern in here, but I did use my mulberry paper here. So as you can see, it's similar. So this is, very graphic. It's black and white. And so it's not the same as this, but it is similar to it. And that's all I'm working on. I'm not going to replicate this exactly, but I'm just going to look and see what I like. The proportions of the colors are super important. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to stick with the Prussian blue. I'm going to add more lighter pinks, which came as a shock to me because I went with this paper over here, which is a very hot pink. And that's how I started off with my pinks. And then I added the lighter pink. But now when I'm looking at these pinks over here, I'm really liking them. And that came as a bit of a surprise to me. And also, I think I'm going to bring in more black and white. Like, I really love the black and white graphic quality of this where the white dominates, and then the black and white quality of this where the black dominates. So that is really interesting and exciting to me. And what I do, and like I said, I won't go into great detail here, but what I do is I cut out patterns and shapes and colors that I like. And I usually use like old children's books, and my daughter, when she outgrows her books, I look through them and I see what I can use for collage, what I can use for my assemblage. And they just have the most gorgeous artwork and patterns and designs and colors and color combinations. So that's what I do, and then I keep it in an envelope, and when I need it to figure out a kind of a color palette, I can, come over here, work on this, and it's going to give me ideas. And the great thing about this is you just simply move it around. So say this piece over here, it is a larger piece, but all I want is that lime green because I want to see, can I incorporate some of the lime green into this palette? So I just cover up the rest of it with the other pieces. And now I just have the lime green. And, you can do that with, so say this piece of pink here, I only wanted a certain proportion of it. So I put the rest of it underneath. So working in this way is just a great, fantastic wonderful way to not only find out what your visual language is, but to strengthen your color muscles and just to inspire you and give you ideas. So now when I go back to this, I may not be able to replicate it exactly, but I know what I have a kind of a guide to work off of. So I hope I'm making sense. And if you have any questions, just ask me. And also, you guys, I just wanted to just as a reminder, I do have a playlist section, and usually I'll try to group my videos under what I think goes under certain sections. So for this particular video, I am going to put it in my colors section, and I'm also going to put it in my creating first layer section because I think it covers both. So anyways, let's just dive right in. And now I'm super excited about trying to kind of get some stuff down on here that I'm really loving, because I really thought that the blue and orange was going to work out, and it just didn't turn out that way, which is okay. It's the orange, I look at it this way. Me laying down the blue and orange, it didn't work out, but me doing that, it got me to a point where I said, okay, I'm really not liking it. So let me go to my assemblage. Let me see what I can come up with. And so it led me to that. So that's just kind of the way I look at it. Okay, I know what I don't want. Now let's get to what I do want. So, anyways, let me start. Like, the first thing I want to do actually is I want to, okay, so I have put some colors off on my palette here. That's Prussian blue, that is Holbein Luminous Opera, and this is a cranberry pink. So what I'm going to do is I am going to mix kind of a pink like that, which, that's really not a pink I generally tend to use. So it's kind of exciting to me to just use like a different pink, because usually I go for the very hot pink. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out here. And I don't know if I'm gonna get close to this pink here. I think, and like I said, this assemblage over here is like it's like a starting point. I'm not trying to replicate things exactly, but it just gives me a good idea without having to put paint on paper. I can kind of see, normally I do not gravitate towards a pink like this, but I'm really loving it I'm really loving all of these lighter pinks. It's really strange. Like, normally I don't know. I mean, this is not a pink I would normally use, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just gonna kind of work as close to what I can get to some of these colors. And see, in this, I have very little lime green. So I'm going to try to replicate that proportion and cover up some of the lime green here. So you guys, while I'm working, I just wanted to talk about something. A lot of times, when I get comments about, let me just try to get my thoughts together here. Okay, so before I started my YouTube channel, I wrote a manifesto, and I journaled about it quite a lot, actually. And if you go back and look at when I established my YouTube channel, it was in 2011. Okay, you guys. And I didn't post my first video until 6 months ago. So there were a lot of reasons why I didn't start posting in 2011, even though I really did want to make YouTube videos. Now, granted, my daughter was 2 years old in 2011, and it wouldn't have been feasible to start it then in terms of the time and the learning curve, etc. So, like I said, there were a lot of reasons why I didn't start my YouTube channel. However, one of the reasons, besides time, that I didn't start is because I doubted myself, and I really struggled with, what do I have to teach? Like, I have absolutely nothing to share. And I really struggled with a lot of self doubt. And I just wanted to say that, when I get comments about, um, I don't know how to say it, like, I understand that I am teaching what I know, but what I hope, honestly, is that I can be a guide rather than a teacher. Because when I'm a guide, I look at it like I'm really just sharing what I know. And I hope that I am guiding you to your own magic, your own intuition, your own wisdom. And that is my hope, and my inspiration for that, role of being a guide is actually Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, because all of her work, she does not, in any of her audiobooks or her books or anything, she positions herself as being a guide. And she never like says, oh, this is the way to do it and blah, blah, blah. And that for me is such a wonderful way of being, I think, in this world, because only you have your magic. Just like only I have my magic. I see the world in a very different way, and you see the world in a very different way. Like, everybody has their own way of doing things and looking at things, etc. And so if I'm a guide, all I'm doing is saying, hey, this is the way I've done it, and this is the way I look at it. But I hope that I am kind of just showing us like a road, back to yourself. And I'm going to make another video about my whole YouTube journey and how, I didn't start it for 2011. Oh my God, about 12 years, 13 years, which is kind of crazy if I really kind of think about it. But I also look at it that everything happens in its own time. And, now I have the time as well to devote to my YouTube channel that I didn't have when my daughter was younger. So anyways, I just hope that, that's my hope anyways, when I make my videos, is that I'm just leading you to your own inner wisdom. And so that you can say, oh, she used tea bags. Okay, I'm going to use tea bags too and try it out. But I'm also going to use all these other things that I hadn't thought about using before. So, anyways, let's just get right back into this situation over here. So, what I need to do now is I want to bring in more of the, like, just the white, which I'm using almond, but that's going to serve as my white. And I'm also going to get rid of the orange. I mean, I might keep just very little, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it now. And I also need to work on the blues. So let me just kind of bring in some of the cream here. And now I want to bring in some of the black, and I'm going to use my chalk paint in what is in ink, and it's like a Payne's gray. And then I need to start adding some of the blues because I feel like the blue has just gotten kind of lost in the mix here. So and like I said, you guys, this assemblage, it's a starting point, and I'm not trying to replicate things exactly, but it just gives me a really good idea of the direction that I'm going in. And I love that it picks up on the black of the mulberry paper. And I'm just going to kind of get some circles going there. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring this assemblage over here. So see how there is black over here, but then there are these white lines, and I really love that. So I'm just going to try to, just bring in some lines here. Now, I should probably wait until this is dry. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until it's dry. So let me just kind of squash those lines. It's just going to show up a lot better when it's completely dry. But I can certainly add some fingerprints over here. And see, that's going to mimic the black and white pattern over here. And like I said, it's not going to be the same, but I'm just using this as inspiration. So I think what I'm going to do is bring in, now I've got to add some blues here. The blue really got lost in the mix. And, ooh, yeah, okay. I'm really liking that. And you guys, the texture with the tea bags is really just so luscious and its own thing. It's like I can't take my eyes off of it. It just keeps on pulling me back in. Okay, I am liking the colors a lot more. It's still not really my jam, but I'm heading in the right direction from where I was. So what I'm going to do is allow this to completely dry, and then I'm going to come back and we'll just see what we can do with it and where it wants to go. So if you have watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.